Welcome to Speak English Now podcast with your host, Georgiana, the podcast that will help you to speak English fluently with no grammar and no textbooks.
Hi everyone, I'm Georgiana, founder of SpeakEnglishPodcast.com. My mission is to help you speak English fluently. In this episode, I will discuss about certificates and real progress in learning English. After that, you can practice your speaking with a question and answer story. Okay, let's get started. As you may know, certificates in English are something important. For example, everybody knows about the Cambridge University certificates. The first certificate is probably the most famous one. If you prefer American English, you have the TOEFL certificate, which is also quite popular. You'd be amazed about how many students prepare themselves to get one of these certificates. The problem here is people tend to confuse having a certificate with the real level of English they actually have. For example, for someone who has gotten the first certificate, can you be totally sure that this person can speak fluently? According to the advertising, of course, that's what you have paid for, and that's why you have spent so many hours doing all kinds of boring exercises. Some students, after studying very hard, travel to England or the United States to practice. Do you know what often happens? It's dramatic. They can barely understand the native speakers. They say they speak too fast, or that they use casual expressions, etc. So, why does that happen? Here's the thing. When you prepare for exams, you train yourself for the specific exercises you find in those exams. However, when you find yourself in a real conversation, it's totally different. You don't have time to think or translate. It's a completely different experience. You can't stop a conversation for a few seconds just to think about the meaning and what to say next. Certificates don't prove the level of the language. It just proves that you've been able to pass an exam. Let me tell you something. Native speakers can speak English without any effort. They have zero problems having a conversation. They know a lot of vocabulary. However, many natives wouldn't pass an advanced English exam. On the other hand, there are many English students with advanced certificates who are not fluent in English. Believe me, I've had students like that. See what I mean? So I'm not saying that certificates are worthless. I fully respect students who have them. It's a lot of work, and certificates are really useful for getting better jobs, for example. I'm just pointing out that certificates are not the best way to measure progress. And if you really want to improve your level of English, you just need to do two things: listening and reading. Of course, you also need to practice, but this practice makes sense when you listen and read a lot. This practice is speaking and reading.
Did you enjoy today's episode? Get the transcript now at SpeakEnglishPodcast.com. SpeakEnglishPodcast.com.